Hey there, how's it going? So, logically, the question's going to arise, do I actually buy what I'm saying myself? And that reminds me of quite a good example, actually. Like, a good friend of mine, we were talking about this and talking about this whole, well, what I call the power of joint intentions and also, manifesting this business plan. You know, my friend brought up the example of the, I probably, yeah, some algorithm might lock onto this and boot me off the internet if I say it exactly. So I may have to say this in a roundabout way. But so, yeah, during the Second World War, there was a certain minority group who were, persecuted and put into concentration camps. And there were some of them who managed to survive, until the end of the war when the Allies managed to save them. And apparently, one of the things, or in some cases, the only thing, according to my friend who actually read this story article, was a strong faith, a strong belief in something. I can't quite remember what that was. Something to do with God, or that there was some higher power that would see them through till the end. And it was quite a touching story. So and that kind of reminds people of, well, I guess when you see something like this, like the desire to believe in a disclosure and this idea that, you know, very soon or at some point, we're going to be introduced to extraterrestrials and find out that there's life out there, and you know and hopefully be given the the privilege to be able to use these free energy or efficient energy and anti-gravity technologies that will allow us to travel to the stars faster than the speed of light, and will and this so and it's quite a depressing world, probably not as bad as it was for these people being persecuted in World War II. Although there's a lot of terrible, terrible things that happen in the world right now that is kind of like that, or almost exactly like that, unfortunately, that we really need to focus on in order to change. Um, but also, I guess, yeah, not as extreme as that, but for a lot of people, life is boring, and there's challenges and also a lot of roadblocks, and sometimes it's just total bullshit, like you go through job after job, and this education, that education, and it's like you can't find anything that's really fulfilling for you, and when you see something like this, it's like, damn, that seems like way more promising. Like, yeah, that's me. That's what I want, And I guess that's how, I think a lot of people probably think about me and this little, proposition that I've come up with. Um, so logically, the question arises, what is this for me? Like, is this just some, uh, like, is it better to just see this in an existential way, as something to get me through the here and now, where like objectively, it's really unclear about whether or not this thing actually does come to fruition, but more on a subjective level, it's just something that is, comforting in the heart and helps to get one through the day. And for me, it's really, it's not it's not this existential thing, because, well, let's look at something else. Like, if you would ask a wise person, I would recommend, I would suggest you go to someone that you consider to be a wise person, someone from a wisdom tradition, and ask them a question about belief. Do you believe this? Do you believe that? And I think what you're going to find is that these people who are coming from who have a good wisdom tradition, and they themselves study from other wise people, most likely they're going to say something along the lines of, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I don't necessarily believe it, but if it's within my sphere of experience, then I have a direct relationship to it. If it's outside of my sphere of experience, then it's kind of irrelevant for me to waste mental and physical energy on it. That's basically what a lot of people from a wisdom tradition, or even not even that, just scholars, professionals, very good business people that are successful in something, this is what they're going to say, And so I guess I apply the same logic in this. It's like, do I really believe that there are extraterrestrials out there that are liaisoning with people here on the earth on a very, very high corporate secretive level, in some military industrial complex, or very, very high level, that are doing some sort of trade, whatever it is? Well, I all I can do is look at all available parameters that are within my sphere of experience and make an assessment based on that. So based on all available, solid parameters that are within my sphere of experience, based on the CE5s that I've been to, based on the stuff that I've seen up there, happen during these events, based on, I guess, people I've met in China, even that practice various disciplines, based on people I've spoken to who apparently, remember their past lives, and how they come across, and based on what I've researched about, what electrical theory actually is, and how it was actually developing prior to the 19th century, or actually up until the 1940s thereabouts, and how it changed to a materialist interpretation after the era of Einstein and special relativity and general relativity. If I take these things into account and look at how electrical engineering was being developed prior to the 1940s, look at the the gods of electrical theory: C.P. Steinmetz, Nikola Tesla, Oliver Heaviside, James Clerk Maxwell, Isaac Newton. These people, look at how they were interpreting it, and what they claimed would be possible if it was developed in this way. When I take all these things into account, it seems very logical that yes, there is a way to negate gravity. There is a way to to efficiently travel up out there, and without the need for burning vast amounts of rocket fuel, and perhaps doing it in an electrical way, in a magnetic way, in an electromagnetic way. Finding out a more efficient way to synthesize electricity, So based on all those available parameters, I make the assessment that it is very, very likely that what I'm suggesting in my proposition is very, very likely. Do I believe it like 100%? Again, I'm only making assessments based on the parameters that are within my sphere of experience, and based on what other people who apparently have seen more, what they're saying as well. At least I listen to them. Again, that's kind of outside of my sphere of experience, so I take it with a grain of salt. And that kind of brings me to another thing is like, if you do just need something to believe in, you do just need something to basically fill this hole in your life, which you need something to get you through in an existential way, like those, like those what happened to those very misfortunate people, then that's fine. And I would suggest that this has a lot more to offer than these other ridiculous conspiracies like flat Earth or something that's just completely without merit, and that is just a conspiracy theory for the sake of being a conspiracy theory. I would suggest that what is on offer here is has far greater implications if it is true. So that's my final point, is that if you do just need this as as something to believe in, something to help you get through the day, something to see you through, I would suggest this is a good one because it has far greater implications if it is true. And for me, I'm probably a little bit more beyond just believing in it as something to fill a hole in my life, something to get me through like that in an existential way. No, it's far more closer to being objective to me. And I just want the goddamn truth. I want to get to the bottom of this. That's my mindset about this. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to find out exactly what's true, and I feel like I understand what the implications of it are if it is true. And so that's why I've made this business plan. So thank you very much for watching. I thought I would just try and elaborate a little bit on that, and just kind of present my case. So thanks for watching, and take care.